Your favorite way to send money to Ghana is back. We're excited to announce that Tap Send is back and better than ever. After a brief pause, we are happy to resume our mission of providing fast, affordable, and secure money transfers to Ghana. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Tap Send is working power. And remember, tell your loved ones abroad to send money through Tap Send to stand a chance to win big in the December Sambra promo. Tap Send. Papa no.
Yem penny for baby say, if you are sing her, obi ni ma, obi che. Why na HL? So we pay IT, we know the 1 year, so we pay support. Slam Technology say your number one partner. Your office will US in here, your office will Ghana, so your numbers ni kuhono. So we should share IT classes, we share career coaching, we share support for business, cyber security. Free na your partner. Your back fear wow. Slam Technologies, transformation with excellence.
She has a plan, a secret mission filled by gratitude and affection. She chooses her mother's favorite breakfast. Delight Foods, House Akoko, a harmonious blend of flavors crafted with care and devotion. The taste of tradition and comfort. In that moment, their connection deepens, a bond strengthened by a shared experience. Delight Foods, House Akoko, a delicious breakfast made with care and love in just 2 minutes.
So we press the filter structure for the and then up and we call unique laser whitening. Unique laser whitening, I will toothpaste was from Kwan. So did you choose here and ma was seeing a filter? Na eye filter no so no. Na eyi and carbon bio when no bia. Any tea stains, coffee stains, smoking stains bia. Unique laser whitening products. Ebe yini nyina free swama kama. The only say product ni ubetu so. Na udi egu o brush no so. Now the chuchu usini so nyina kama. Uwia enhuru wanum. Jana wanum sa. Into contact Unique Laser Whitening. I was 079-9979-2330. Unique Laser Whitening. Or say Muni Seso.
Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job, then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.
This Airbnb in Dansoman Estates, Accra, is only $40 a day and offers all the amenities for a comfortable stay. It is also conveniently located 30 minutes away from the airport. We also have 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for long-term rental at Englishi, Amamprum, 15 minutes to the Wejito booth and the West Hills Mall going for 1,500 and 1,000 Ghana cedis only. Call Parry Group on 053-866-3532, 053-866-3532. This is Parry Group of Companies.
For more about SBTV Africa, so thank God it's Friday. I hope so. Ubia hoye more about live at SBTV Africa Studios. If I'm DJ Nyame, and I'm say every Fridays biano many lawyer wisdom akahu wise man solicitors ebedi nkomo wa ha say na UK nkomo na eba bedi ono UK inti bibia fa UK immigration hu biano 2025 TAB latest update news about the ecoso information very important they be make sure say TAB Ghana UK baby worldwide baby biano TAB na hu ne eco share link we suma unu bi share live our YouTube channel SVTV Africa so as you stream live our Facebook so SVTV Africa make sure so be share link no follow you and they try not tap subscribe no so adoma bi wo na mi aso se na be ya the video bi ato so obenye bi ahwe ye ba live so obenye bi ahwe o de wadwen kire so beba comment section wo question bi obesa obisa lawyer aha de me ne ba mamamfo bisa no question comment section obetimi ebisa no obetimi de questions number mre no so a obeyi anama ebi wo ha metimi bie phone line na mamfo na kasa be kai last week bie me ne bie sana na say course no doso it no be easy I deja enti me ne lawyer wisdom aka kwa kodi nkomo make sure so share link ni ma obi na be boa unu abi share to page so ke share or WhatsApp so share or Telegram share or platform bi a share so say na be ya be boa obi because all the information ba pa 2025 ya shase then e koso wo UK mran asesa na den na asesa den na yesi ye den na nyesa wo ye oti obi wo Ghana ana opese ko obi den na esa wo ye den na nyesa wo ye yenkodi ngomo mene lawyer akwaba
DJ unso ma akwaba me da se ho ye de
me ho ye pa lawyer wisdom akao aka Obinfu champion lawyer.
Oh, I beg.
Lawyer, still I mean, say Studio B wo mu on. Na wo Studio B.
DJ, who the big problem wow.
Lawyer, I was Studio B. It's enche. You remember Studio A? And I'm still I was Studio B.
Studio B. Me operating from the web, the airways.
Nice one. Oh yeah, now so we international man. We international lawyer.
Oh, I'm a local boy. I'm a area boy.
I see. Lawyer.
Minam Tema Shaman, I just go area. I'm a local boy, so.
Okay. But lawyer, and I share new measures about 2025, and maybe so first one. UK ho omo America. See, I mean, they're making kind of me say, we're American citizen, who American passport, whatever, who by UK. And she said, "Ben, almost kind, almost say, who here then? Yenti, and son, a new measures be a babyano. Nante. Medas over to you.
Medase, DJ, Medase. It's here for Ethiopia, Yedisa Obia Hoya. And that is the 10th of January. So it's 10/01/2025. And we thank God for bringing us this far in the year. Edobiase, thank you for logging on. DJ, when you say every country and their rules, and UK particularly, you have a system where the rules keep changing very often. Almost every week, almost every month, almost every other month, the VSSA. And from the 8th of January, which is 2 days ago, begin to assign SSI. If you are your friend on previously, so we are Ufi Ekroa, you don't need visa to come to the UK, which is called the non-visa countries. You can just take your passport, buy your ticket, and then you come to the UK without any problems at all. And meaning say America has a system. Almost yes, we are non-visa country. If you are from ESTA, ESTA, Electronic Systems Travel Authorization, ESTA, Electronic Systems Travel Authorization. Electronic System Travel Authorization. And we are US for a year. US is open that's a crime where you don't need a visa to come to the US. you do the ESTA, Electronic System Travel Authorization. Now, once it's approved, you are able to come in and out of the US for, I think, up to 2 years or so. So that is there. With UK, no, before the 8th of January 2025, so Ufi Akroa, you don't need visa to come to the UK. You don't do anything. You don't do any ESTA or anything. But from the 8th of January, which is 2 days ago, sir, we are non-visa country, a non-visa country, and we should listen to that very well. And yet, obia a officer of the UK, and obey way. And yet, they don't need visa to come to the UK from visa exempt country. Anyone from a visa exempt country. So please, let's pay attention to a honor. And yet, anybody who is coming to the UK or who wants to come to the UK, it is only people who are from visa exempt countries who would have to apply for ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization. Electronic Travel Authorization. US for the ESTA, ESTA. UK for the ES nefi ho. And on my ETA, or ETA, ETA. Electronic Travel Authorization. And the countries who are visa exempt to come to the UK. Set over UK. In other words, if you are a US citizen, a Canadian citizen, Bahrain, those people who have the passport of that country, and yes, I would say okay, but you have the passport of that country, you are a national of that country. Set over UK. For visit, not to remain, but for visit. You now have to apply for ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization. ETA. It says eligibility. If you are from a country that does not require visa to visit the UK, you need to apply for the ETA. Purpose is for short-term visits, including tourism, business visits, family and friends, or short-term study. Application process, you can apply. So it is for only American because people can misinterpret everything or anything. And yet for Obia Keke, we are Ghana now open over UK. Over here, the normal visit visa. We are Ghana open over UK. You will need the normal student tier 4 visa. We are Ghana open over UK. But as a charity worker, you will need a sponsor who has a license from the Home Office. Now apply for a normal charity visa. We are Ghana na upesa uba baka uiri ana ukunuhua. You go through the normal spouse visa application. So you don't apply for the ETA. You are not going to go for the ETA. You're going for the normal visit or spouse or student or charity or minister of religion visa, different type of visas. So it is for only, or it is only people who are coming to the UK from countries that do not need a visa. Amuna, the ETA application. We are Ghanaian na uba, you will need a visa. We are Ghanaian now for American passports, you will need ETA. We American citizens now for you need to do the ETA. Canadians and some other countries. So let's pay attention to that. It means it is not everybody who has to do or who will have to do. It's not everybody who will have to do the ETA. Some people will have to go through the normal process of applying for a visa if you are not a non-visa country national. So we should not confuse it at all. Don't confuse it. May two mebu actually because making obi but if you don't want to no so to say yes Ghana for over UK won't visa application we ETA baby and yet that is not ETA for everybody. It's for only people who are from the non-visa countries, or non-visa nationals, countries that are non-visa applicants. They have to come with the ETA. Now, what is ETA? I know I'm about to say it's Electronic Travel Authorization. America for from ESTA, ESTA, and ESTA, ESTA. That is for America. UK is ETA. Yeyi esno if you want because the empesa about the same like US for it. Yeyi esno if you want ETA. So that is for your information. So starting from January 8th January 2025, non-EU/EEA citizens will need ETA to visit the UK without a visa. EU citizens, except for Irish citizens, will need an ETA starting April 2025. So EU citizens, they would need from 2025 April. Other countries start from the 8th of January. So please bear that in mind. How do you apply for the ETA and ETA? Go online, go to ETA, apply for Electronic Travel Authorization. Now you have to plan ahead. Say, Uber in February or March, I think you have to apply now. It is valid for, I think, up to 6 months or so. You can visit the UK for up to 6 months. So plan ahead and allow extra time for the ETA to be processed. Sometimes it may be processed immediately, in a short time, in a matter of minutes, matter of hours. But please, my whole time kakra say, so we are main trying to and now we ansana we application David. Then provide accurate information with regards to your application. Provide accurate application. Yeah, maybe your finances, you have to provide all of that. You have to demonstrate financial support. Provide evidence that you have enough money to support yourself without using public funds. And so just say, enough funds for yourself. It's not have for a visit and go back without asking for the public to support you or without benefit. Very, very important. Prove your relationship. If it is for transit, that is fine. But say it will be na prove the relationship. Your brother, mommy, papa, uncle, prove the relationship through documents, either birth certificate, etc., etc. Those are the things you need. And do not submit false information. Don't submit false information. I have said this over and over again, and it is one of the topics it's a topic I'm going to talk about today. Do's and don'ts. Don't provide false information. So ETA has started for those who are non-visa nationals. EU nationals and others would need it from April 2025 unless something changes. Eligible Europeans can apply from 5th March 2025. They will need an ETA to travel from 2nd April 2025. So eligible Europeans will have to apply for ETA. And ETA is a digital permission to travel. It is not a visa and does not permit entry into the UK. It authorizes an individual to travel to the UK. It is not entry. It only gives you authority to come to the UK, but it is not a visa. ETA visa application. There is no visa there. It's not a visa. Visa no. Apply for an ETA is a quick, simple way. Visitors should apply in advance and find out went to do so on government site. Ebe cost only £10. It is £10, and it allows you to travel to the UK multiple times for up to stay up to 6 months. That is for the non-visa countries, non-visa applicants. Please, please, please take note of this. It is only for people who don't need visa to come to the UK. Ukra British passport won't come because you're already a British citizen and you are only coming back to your country. Ukra British passport, Ukra Irish passport, with your Uba Ukrum, and won't hear set Uba Bibia, Ubertal ticket, no about Ukrum without any problems at all. So that is very important. ATA for the UK. So please take note of that. The second thing I'm a person making one some has to do with younger, the indefinite leave to remain in the old passport. Me a lot of people. Nipa bebre ni now about e-visa. A lot of people haven't had it because afena, particularly omo Ghana, ebia onti nkran. Wabetna kroma asa wabre nti woko Ghana no wakotna ni krazi baby ompe dede ewo nkran nti wakotna village. A lot of our mothers and a lot of our fathers who have indefinite leave to remain almost uncle Fieno. Bebre enim say this e-visa thing we are talking about. And I said, our passport more want to me any e-visa. We have to do near your friend the NTL for you before you go ahead to do the e-visa. Mami sisubium say indefinite no is your old passport more want to me any e-visa. Near SSA we say your better application be among your friend NTL. No time limit application the among. No time limit application no. Shim no one who say ampa one call out of the UK for more than 2 years. Who does so you'll be you still have your right to come to the UK as a returning resident. Then on that basis, on the mount approval, no more link. Link na on the amount and no and not yet the e-visa application amount. I am getting very worried because share much beba ye papa no bebre ye mama no bebre indefinite in the old passport bebre and to me and back to the UK. Timisramo sa utie wo fa bi wo auntie bi wo mama wo papa or indefinite, not British but okra indefinite. I want the old passport no more. Over Ghana and not over Bia. One Maya Embeya, Miss Ramon, said they have to come to the UK to do the NTL. They have to come to the UK to do the NTL. You cannot do the NTL from outside the UK. You can't do the NTL from outside the UK. You have to come to the UK to do the NTL before the e-visa for you. Before we do the e-visa for you. Enti Misra obia se kacho papa, kacho mame, anam omuba, wa betimi aboa wom, na wa ya ama wom, na omo asit na, so they don't have to be stranded after the 31st of March 2025. So omo anya okra indefinite nanso want to me emba UK. Just say okoye another application, returning resident application, and that comes at a cost. And also, I find Obi Wabe decide say bra anamemma. If you can't even prove the strong ties or connection to the UK, it will be refused. So to avoid all of that, say over to me, and now say, please tell your families, your uncles, aunties, father, mother, brother, sister, who has the indefinite in the old passport and have not done the e-visa because they have to come to the UK to get it done, and then they can go back to Ghana. Once approved on ABBA, you can do the e-visa from anywhere, but not the NTL. So please take note of that as well. Please take note of that. So that is for your information that the e-visa is still being done. 2025, March 31st is the deadline. Get it done before the date. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in a very difficult position, especially those who have the indefinite leave in their old passport. And that is what it is. Another very important thing, I'm because 72 to be on the safer side, too quiet. Please do your e-visa and print it out. Print it out. Print it, hold onto it. Mani da wo ho. Print it here. Fasha wallet mo. And fasha kotokom. Now, near everyone say call online no way print or view e-visa. Ukoa. It will ask you, okay, let me say it this way. The best way to show your status is go online, generate a share code. When you want to generate a share code for your e-visa, there may be some question. One, are you for employer? And two, are you for landlord? And three, are you for BB Fufro? Select it for BB Fufro. That's for other, OTHER. Not for landlord, not for employer, but for other. The other one, when you select that, continue. We are print it, and you picture was sitting at the print it. Fashion, would you took one over Bimwa, would do airport, or Ghana, on check on Sampa, who your e-visa, you have your share code and everything for travel. On the share system, no more, to me, at to quite abba. Now saying, may nipebi or could do airport, could take Ghana International Airport, and very stranded. So they tried to generate a share code for him, and ultimately he was able to travel. But Enka or printed they don't have to go through all that stuff. Apena almost framing, oh, may share code. Can you send me this code number? And it was messy. But thankfully, Nipana Oyejimo Accra International Airport, Honona, were very helpful. And Timinini Kasaya, and I directed him as to what to do. In fact, I believe he's been educated into on what to do into it to me. AAM Echo smoothly. So please, Uber to Kwaya, yeah, we share code for travel through the other selection of the other category. Uprinteria Fatun na Uber, you don't have a problem. You'll be able to prove set who were the right to come back to the UK after your travels. So that is very, very, very important. You can still wait to me Accra wo biometric card near iSpy. Wait me still you can still carry it with you. But to make life easy for yourself, say print the share code, your e-visa with your picture, stating your status, and every other thing. Now with your show, fashion bag more, and I make 2 copies, and I'll me a print your phone, so let me a print it, and I'll me a screenshot of phone, so or print it be a show home, a your bag more, then you are safe. Now you don't have any difficulty to prove say who are sitting now, and I'll me assign about UK without any problem. So DJ, those are some of the things which have changed. Things have changed, and we should not just take it for granted. You don't want to find yourself in a difficult position. We do airport where you are in a difficult position. Now, countries like, let me go back to the ETA. The process first opened in October 2023 for Qatari nationals, Free Qatar, and has rolled out further in February 2024 to include nationals of Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. All these countries don't need visa. If you have a passport of those countries, you don't need a visa to come to the UK, but you now have to do the ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization, and sign away to me about UK. So that is for your information. That is for your information. So that is a bit of update. Now, you bet to me. Actually, so DJ, if you have any questions, I'm happy to respond to that. Right. So let me quickly say who does not need a ETA. So you would not need an electronic travel authorization if you are a British citizen, British overseas territory citizen traveling on a British overseas territory citizen passport, or an Irish citizen, except where permission to come to the UK is required because the person is subject to deportation order. You would also not require an ETA if you already have permission to live in the UK. Yeah, I owe 2.5 years. You don't need an ETA. You don't need an ETA. Oh, 2.5, this one. You don't need an ETA. Ukra indefinite. Here ETA. It's only people who are nationals of non-visa countries. Non-visa countries. Countries that do not need visa to come to the UK. Omuna. They have to do the ETA before they can travel to the UK. So I'm putting it out there on this program for everybody to know that from the 8th of January 2025, which is 2 days ago, non-visa nationals would need to come to the UK. But as I said, you have to have your ETA before you can travel to the UK. US is called ESTA. UK is called ETA. So please take note of that information. So that is for your information. DJ, any question? I'm happy to respond to it.
Okay, so a few questions here about my to screen so now answer on okay.
Hi, Richard, Mr. Sego. Hi. I read about the exceptional assurance concession. It says I cannot rely on any periods with exceptional assurance to count towards the qualifying period of settlement on any route. Anyhow, well, it all depends on the circumstances in which you are applying. Now, there are some times that the Home Office will have to assess an application. I'll give you an example. ABIA, OP, EBA, Krumha, and on the basis of normally and so your application etna, but because of a break resulted due to ABIA not on tiapo until when to me any application within the time SSA or yeah. And normally so visa ni wa another 14 days period, grace period, as I said, we application. Ebia we're outside that 14 days now. So in the instance na sitting any wuno a sort now for another year within 14 days. When to me and Ebia we're here within 28 days or after the 14 days. Clearly, such a person has fallen outside the concession period. However, the Home Office may take other factors into account. I will say, okay, because of X, Y, Z, and T, we want to still give you the leave to remain. In such cases, they may say, Yamawa Sitna, but the period over which you have been here or you've been given another exceptional assurance concession, we will not count it towards your indefinite leave to remain. In that case, you may have to possibly make another application to extend the time beyond the period where you were given. Now, they will look at that to give you the indefinite ultimately. Ultimately, you get it, but maybe not at the time you are supposed to get it. So you can call me later and I'll give you some more information as to the concession period. For the first time, I got 6 months. The second time, I got 6 months visa, which are all standard visitors visa. So please, to avoid 6 months and apply for long standard visitors visa. You want to know which is 2 years. May I know the requirements, please? I've always been applying from Germany. It's the same requirements, but Sikana Ewa account, if you used to provide an account or a statement that has maybe, let's say, 1,500 equivalent of your city, your money, you can maybe increase it to about 2,000 and 3,000 because they will look at your circumstances. Of course, you'll still use the same documents if you are still working with the same employer. You'll still use the same tenancy agreement if you are still in the same place. You'll still use your pay slips. You still use your bank statements. So just if you want, just increase your financial position, kakra, maybe your savings or so. With that, I'm sure they will consider it for the 2 years. And obviously, say amount of 2 years now, and just say over now for the whole 2 years, over for 6 months, 6 months. So build on your finance a bit, and then I think you can go for the 2 years. Or if you wish, you can go for 1 year first, and then later to 2 years. It's entirely up to you. Or you can go straight for the 2 years if you so wish. Yes. George Kujo, hello. Ask about ask doctor, ask about is UK recruiting international? Okay, you want to know if the UK is recruiting international nurses, especially those that are trained in the EU. The UK is always looking to recruit nurses to this country. Officially, you can go directly through the NHS. Wait me, contact the NHS directly. Go to NHS jobs. But first of all, check if South Trust now they've got sponsorship license. Because as a nurse or as a professional, you need sponsorship. Over here, an employer who would provide you with a sponsorship certificate license and COS, certificate of sponsorship. So please go online, check the trusts. We have different trusts in the UK. They're all under the NHS, National Health Services. Now, go to NHS jobs. When you get the job or you communicate with them and a particular trust wants to employ you, check with them either through email or through calls if they have a sponsorship license. Be sure they have the license before you proceed. Otherwise, not only license, they cannot employ you. That is one. The second one is if you don't want to go straight to the NHS, you can go to the agencies. So some agencies recruit nurses on a small scale, some to do it on a big scale. But in this case, try and identify some agencies that will be able to recruit you. But what I always tell my clients, they say, so only agency in this started, not almost started every service as sika. For sika say bra anyway, and then that should be a warning sign for you. Because the agency never agency can sometimes they take everything into account before they proceed. But once they start asking for pay 1,500, pay 2,000, pay 3,000, that should be a red flag for you to know that sometimes they may not be a genuine recruiting agency. So please work through or work with the NHS directly, or you go to an agency, but make sure that that agency is legitimate by doing your home background check before. How can you check? You may even check with the, I think the nurses board. The UK has all nurses come under a board. Go online, do a bit of research, and find out before you proceed. Thank you. Is there any good news for an update for care applicants? Well, apart from the numbers I put out the other time, which says that those who sponsorship license has been revoked, there was a number I put out. You can contact an email, not number, an email I put out. Now, another sponsor, then you can contact them. I see if I can get those details and put it out again. Yes, it is. Let me see if I have those details. I will just put it out here again. DJ, I think I have the email. It is the email is. Let me just see quickly if I get the email for you. DJ edit to the platform the other day. Let me quickly see. It's london.internationalrecruits@camden.gov.uk. London.internationalrecruits at camden.gov.uk. London.internationalrecruits at camden, camden.gov.uk. Thank you. It's on the screen. So please contact them. If they can get you another sponsor, then of course you can move on to them. And on this particular topic, Mehun a lot of the sponsored people, nurses, and the care workers now, a lot of times relationships are breaking down. Now relationship breaks down. What happens to the dependent? So relationship need break it down. Either say relationship sponsor the dependent no, or kwan for so e need enough. And now of course another sponsor. And now ebia so oba and now worry will be fufura genuinely na otumi at the application afa so. The main applicant is usually not a problem because already obetumi move it to another sector in terms of sponsorship, another care worker or another sponsorship route, or again another spouse application. The main issue has to do with the dependents because once the relationship is over, nipa na basic application on the sono. So when in a relationship break it down, you have to find another way of regularizing your stay. So that is where we stand with this one. DJ, any other question? Hetty, hello Hetty. I want to know if my son is a citizen and I swap from tier 2 visa to his own and I marry, can my husband swap from dependent visa to spouse visa? Your spouse, okay, let's look at yours first. So Uba are a British citizen. You can switch from tier 2 to a parent route. That is possible. 100% possible. So you have a child, one year British citizen, who are tier 2, so that is sponsorship. So what me switch it from sponsorship. So ABBA, Appendix FM, section EC dash Appendix FM section FLRFP T, FLRFP, leave to remain as a parent, LTRPT, and the form is FLRFP. The law is Appendix FM section LTRPT. The form is FLRFP. That is the form. The law is different from the form. Now what happens is once I was switching with the other, you're about 2.5 years. So kunwa nase or nonso ewo any other dependent routes as a set which says you are in a relationship and you have to have your marriage certificate, not on one application based on wo any wobana. And I say wobana beye ono nabanoma. Wobano abeye papano ukunu nabanoma. Untimi nkanchim say oye uba because oye uba just say papa na sorry untimi nkanchim say oye papa ni ba because ni ba na just say papa no so was na indefinite and nontina ne ba na timi nya indefinite na and British citizenship. So it means that the child will become the stepchild of your husband. He is also able to switch from his dependency visa onto yours. But just say, remember we say or you're dependent. And they just say, or no, and then you're all dependent and our relationship no are breaking down. Now or no, anyone no more worry, more marriage certificate. And sana on the application based on wo any or no na bani mano eye ubano. Now you ever raise Article 8, Human Right, Section 55, Best Interest of the Child, and all the additional supporting case laws, MK, India, RASGA, all those cases, it will support your child. There's a genuine relationship, and it will be unreasonably harsh. Gen 3.2 set you ever separate papano from wo and then the banner, and then Ubano. Yes, sir, arguments now. It's possible that Abofano should also succeed in his application. Papano should succeed in his application as a spouse of yours. So, yes, it is possible. Yes? What about Greek UN passport holders? I need to check the list of countries that are exempt. I am sure if you have a Greek Greek passport, or say Greek UN Greek on passport. If you are on a Greek passport, I think you fall within the EU category. In that case, you also start from April 2025. You would have to do the ETA from April 2025. But I can go back to the list and then, of course, confirm for you. You can call me afterwards the program, and then I would update you on what is expected of Greek passport holders. Please, with 20 years long residence private life, does one need a fresh passport as part of the application process? If one is already working, can he continue working whilst waiting for decisions? Yes, if you're already working, if you have your 2.5 years, and if you are on a, okay, let me take the question again. With 20 years long residence private life, does one need fresh passport as part of the application process? If one is already working, can he continue working whilst waiting for a decision? If you have an old passport, you can use the old passport for your application. Because our application now, I'm going to say, do you have a valid passport? Almost say valid, you take no. You don't have a valid passport. I'm going to say, do you have an expired passport? You will take yes, I have an expired passport. Normal business said, do you have the number of the passport? You will take yes, and you put in the passport details there. Normal business said, are you able to provide this expired passport? No one take yes. And to that, Uber Kohono, Akawakobonsan, and so do expired passport, because the old passport, and set with the call. So yes, over to my application with the expired passport. It does not have to be a valid passport. But over to me, why don't you have a valid one? If you can get a valid passport, then over to me the application. So, and you're possible if you're second one, and you're over to me the expired passport now. But I'm going to be saying, do you have a valid passport? Remember, it's not valid, so you take no. So can you provide the number for this passport? You take no. The next one says, do you have an expired passport? You take yes. Can you provide the number of this passport? You take yes, and you put the number there. Can you provide this passport? You take yes, if you have the passport. If you don't have the passport, you take no, no. In that case, ultimately, as a set with your passport, no answer decision about, because the Home Office may come back to ask you for it. Now, Ubisa says, oh yeah, Juma, and oh yeah, Juma, can you continue to work? Well, so oh yeah, Juma, you are working at your own risk. So Home Office for Ebawa, no more so when sitting and oh yeah, Juma. Employer no can be fined 40,000 or more. Once you can be arrested. I'm telling you as it is. But you did said 20 years, why Juma, be BNC, no. You're going to empire say, make a cry about that Home Office, no. She NC. But as a matter of fact, Home Office can come there, the employer can be in trouble, you can be in trouble. Sometimes they may not come, and your problem. My young man probably omudasu ye juma, omunia sitna, omudasu omukosu ye juma, edikoye. Throughout the period, nothing happened in the amount. So I don't think you should be too worried about that. Okay. Bullet man, if you are dependent and your partner doesn't want to switch with you, can you contact them to sponsor you? Let me say it again. If you're a dependent and your partner doesn't want to switch with you number, can you contact them to sponsor you? Contact Who? The company where your sponsor is or your partner is? Yes, of course. Nothing stops you. As long as you can get a sponsorship license or a COS, certificate of sponsorship, you are free to proceed with a new company or even with the company your partner is working with. If and only if when you're willing, sir, on the more COS now, and you're wait to minimum at once, and your problem. You can contact them to sponsor you, and then you can switch. Mr. Aqua, how can someone get creative art visa? Well, you have to meet some requirements. Now, so Uko, there is a section on the Home Office um, in the rules. I'll get it for you. It talks about creative art and different sections. I will get that for you once we proceed. Or you can call me, I can give you the details. So if I go to immigration rules, I will be able to get the rules for you. And let me see. You have to meet the requirements. And once you meet the requirements, you'll be able to apply. Let me quickly see if I can get you the rules for the creative arts. We have well, call me. I'm saying take my number and call me because otherwise I'll spend all the time on this one. It's immigration rules appendix skilled worker, and then we have another one. We have the global talent business. We have you want to go to the global talent, global business mobility rules are workers based outside the UK who are taking temporary work assignment as UK senior specialist, and then we have other ones too. So call me. I'll put my number out there. Call me. I'll put you under the proper route. We also have the appendix innovator founder, appendix international sportsmanship. So call me and I'll give you the exact place you can go make some reading on that as well. Thank you. Albert Owusu Tinkran, please explain to me. We cannot show proof of your status. This might be because your status is not ready to view in this service yet. Your visa immigration application is not yet decided. Well, Miji said this is got to do with your e-visa. Now, so we get e-visa application, and sometimes almost immediately decision of EBA. Sometimes into it takes a couple of days. Sometimes it can take weeks. And the whilst at home office, go on checks and processes now. So, who check for your status? Rebecca just said we cannot show proof of your status, and that is why it only means that they have not yet made a decision. So just wait. Trying the decision now online check here. Every year say your status this or that. It doesn't mean your application has been refused. No, it only means that a decision has not been made yet or it has not been updated yet. But there is absolutely nothing you should worry about. Okay? Rex Drury. How do you get in touch with the lawyer? Oh, Rex, my number is on the screen 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. Mobile number, now that's the mobile number. The office number na +44 2080 165 384. +44, that is if you're calling from outside, 2080 165 384. If you call me through this, you'll be able to get me on any of those numbers. So that is what it is. Now, Bright Abrifa, as most of us here in the UK, but our company didn't give us a job since first year. Please, can we renew it after your visa is coming to expire? So most of us here in UK, but our company didn't give us jobs since 1 year. I mean, you've been here for 1 year, the company hasn't given you a job. Can you renew it after your visa is coming to expire? The problem you may have, right, and it's renewal now. The Home Office may ask for some documents. Maybe a letter from the sponsor. Secondly, if you are your pay slips for 6 months, bank statement for 6 months, I just say, who does any a juma? Say, when you have documents now, about affect the application. And a mere say a me anywhere, you may any say, I'll start looking for another company now, rather than wait until time now. As soon. Ukwa you know one ya letters here, na document here. Ebema was it now? One share, it will be refused. And please, if you don't mind, you have to seriously and intentionally start looking for another sponsor. And yes, our time is on. Was so please do as advised. Hello, Robbie Boateng. Can I do a customer rate with my partner who has indefinite leave whilst I am an overstayer without going back home? We're both from different African countries. Well, it is possible. It is possible. So we share Ghana, your role, your rana. We share the PNDC law, I think it's 112, which governs the most of our customary traditional marriages, PNDC law. Actually, say a possible say wonni a home poor, wonni Ghana poor, ubetumi ama ebusuafo aye bibia ama. Obano emfi Ghana, from my understanding. Obano emfi Ghana. But it is possible, sir, ubetumi awari under the customary rules. There's a report from Professor Woodman of, I think, blessed memory. I'll just say, as long as the non-Ghanaian, even a representative in Ghana, it's possible, sir, ubetumi awari. Mami chile Mr. Boateng a we Ghana ni, ena Obana area of Kenya and Zimbabwe. And it's possible, sir, Obana benya representative. Mr. Boateng ebusuam. And Mr. Boateng ne auntie betimi represent Obana of Zimbabwe no in Ghana na omo your customer marriage no. And Mr. Boateng who aunt will represent Obana in Ghana. Omo bibia na omo di application no. Ebe we are with the application. But say who near sit na Nasa abofra enim ana any insurmountable obstacle in terms of yare enim one we yes application now they are very likely say it will be refused. The only reason or the only time omodi be ma on say wono woni asit na nanso oba no e wo ba wa be ye oba no ekuno wa be abofra no ni stepfather. Abofra under 18 years, you are involved in the child's life. You are in the school, or family school. But or age of wanting to go school back, when you are bonded, more pictures. When you pay, or wait me out your crowd, wait me out your account sample. We and the stepdad who supporting who buana. With all of this, wait me application. But Abofra under 18. Now, of course. Ana yare bi nim mukasa yare ne nti wontumi nkɔ Ghana wontumi nya wo yire nkɔ Ghana and you yes application even though set mwaware no the application will be refused because of visa will answer our yes application. So yes, it is possible to marry, but it is not guaranteed that you will have your leave to remain in the UK only and only because wasit nana. Ishmael Note. Hi, Mr. Note. What else can you do to stay if seeking asylum gets denied? Well, nobody can tell you not to have a family life. If you have a family, You can switch to your family life. A child, a parent. When I mean a parent, I don't mean your parents are here, but you are a parent of a child, or you are married, genuine relationship, and your spouse has a child. Or you just have to wait until you are 20 years long residence in the UK. On that basis, you are able to apply to remain in the UK. So that is for your information. I'm in Bahrain. What type do I need to apply? Do you have a Bahrainian passport? If you have their passport, then all you need to do is ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization, ETA. But the Ukra Ghana passport, Rahim Natu Musa, Ukra Ghana passport, then you have to apply for visit visa just like everybody else. Either you're coming from Ghana or from another country. As long as you are not with the nationality or national passport of Bahrain, then you or of whichever country it is, if you don't have their national, if you're not a national of that country or that state, then of course you need to apply for visa as everybody else. Nana Buampong. I am on a skilled worker visa, but I would like to resign my current job and then look for work elsewhere. What are the consequences for this decision whilst I'm still searching for work? I would advise you not to resign yet, if that is practicable. Look for a new job. Get the job. Make sure they have the sponsorship license and you are issued a COS before you resign. Then you put in the application. Why? Because if you resign now and the employer informs the Home Office, but you are no longer working with them, your leave will be curtailed, your leave will be cancelled. And if you don't get another employment within that grace period of maybe 60 days, you become an overstayer. And once you become an overstayer, it becomes a lot more difficult for you to switch to another category. So my advice would be, don't resign yet, get another job, secure all the necessary documentations, and possibly put in the application before you resign, or resign immediately you put in a new application, so that at least you are still deemed to be in the UK legally. Thank you very much. Nyako Abronoma, hello. Can a main applicant work for another company if the main sponsor company does not have job? I think this question we've answered it over and over and over again, but maybe you haven't maybe had the opportunity to hear it. You have to work with your main company. You can only do 20 hours with another company. 20 hours with another company, but you have to be with your main company. If you are not getting job with your main company, advise yourself. I've said it over and over. Please, please advise yourself. If you want to get another company and move on, please do so to a company where you can work. Otherwise, when it comes to renewing your visa after 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, you would have a lot of difficulty proving with the documents. And that is why I would advise anybody that if you have any issues with your employer, please Uber to me, get another employer if possible and move on. Or switch it to another route. So switch it to Baso. So a year and switch it to a year and simple. Another person will go back to school. Go back to school. You are a student. We are. You carry on your own route. Rather than said to be stuck to an employer who is not giving you work, time no soon so set. You're more and I'll go extension. When your documents don't find yet, you'll be stranded. And please consider it very, very carefully. That's all we can advise anyway. Save Ghana. Thank you for saving Ghana. Hello. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you very much. I hope you are doing well too. Can someone on a care worker visa who has given birth to a UK, who has given birth in the UK, apply for a family visa should in case her visa is not renewed? 100%. Yes. you can switch to your child, particularly if the child is having British citizenship. If your child has British passport, yes, you can switch. Yes, you can switch. If your child does not have a British passport, well, it becomes 50-50. Assuming the child's mother doesn't have anything and the child also doesn't have the leave to be in the UK. In that case, if you make an application, likely someone will refuse it because I'm friend in free, so but say name with 2.5 years, sir. Yes, GEN 3.2, which my application, Article 8, Section 55, and all those supporting case works, case laws, but me support the application amount. But Sabufrani British passport there, and yeah, yes, you're in a very, very strong position. Yes, it's possible. It is possible. Abigail Entry Boisiakon. Hello, Abby. After how many years can one divorce his or her partner? Well, legally, a marriage doesn't say what we're after 1 year. 1 year. That is why you can put in for a divorce. But it depends on asitnana also. So we are you name yiri. I don't know that marriage just said the divorce should have started after 3 years. Legally, wait me so on here, yeah, crata, some nanny bibia, and you wait me after 1 year. But say, what worry you need? Now, go jai before 3 years, I don't know. Once you're divorced, you cannot retain your right of residence. But say, a year you need no 3 years, why a divorce? Now, wait me actually say, not you need no UK at the time we are divorced now. We share divorce now, say, once who evidence of what Nakroma Juma wouldn't not UK here for 1 year, etc. Then we will be you have retained your right of residence. And that's the word, retained your right of residence or retain right of residence. Scientists you have some problems. But Mamin Sisubio, Senya Krata Sambia, you don't need anything, you have your stay and everything. It's 1 year. You can always put in a divorce. Kwame Odame Darkon. Hello, Mr. Darkon. I hope you're doing well. What document do I need to switch from pre-settle to settle under the EU settlement scheme route? I don't know on which route you are on. Say, based on Upapa and Umamia, the requirements are say Ali, you don't need proof of dependency. Indeed, you have your passport, your biometric card, when you have proof, so what Nakroma for 5 years, with me the pay slips for 5 years, and a P60s for 5 years, and a letter from your GP, letter from gas, water, electricity to show so what Nakroma have for 5 years. You need to prove for 5 years. And your one document for a year, over to me, I get document for every month for 5 years. I don't know what what Nakroma have for 5 years. Then, say, based on our area, then so it says we at Nakroma for 5 years, once wait now for 5 years, pay slips, P60, letter from employer if you can get it, GP records, gas, water, electricity, telephone bills, things of the sort. It has to spread over 5 years. It has to cover 5 years. With that, you are able to apply. And of course, your marriage certificate. Now, that is evidence. So what Nakroma for 5 years. Hello, Mr. Asante. If one came to the UK via a 2.5 spousal visa and did renew it last year, how many years would it take this fellow to sever the marriage? In other words, to divorce. And what happens if the person divorces now? Mr. Asante, Mr. Sawanya indefinite. Now koja warena. 2.5 years now warena ashegu. Newa statistics so ego. Unless with me just say you are friend of domestic abuse, domestic violence. So we need evidence. Say you are a victim of domestic abuse. Documented evidence. And you are not any edica, and you are not an medical lawyer, a home office. What evidence said there is proof of domestic abuse. Now, I don't know ukoye application for ukoye ujaya ukoye application to be refused. But if you have evidence of domestic abuse, and you see domestic abuse, it's a lot. It can be emotional, psychological, financial, sexual, physical, and all range of things. Or anything that puts you in fear of remaining in that relationship. All this are evidence of domestic abuse, but you must have evidence to prove it. In that case, so would you have any poor, which means not sa evidence ne so at the application to remain in the UK. And this would you before you're indefinite, near nana, you have to go and look for another way and sana with your application to remain in the UK. Mr. Tinkrine, please, I was given 2 years student visa, which the second year was for work placement. Unfortunately, I didn't get any company for the placement, so the school said they curtailed my visa to 1 year. Why would they curtail your visa? If placement. So is it a requirement for the university that you do a placement? Because I know if you're on the graduate route, it's for 2 years. But if it is a requirement to be on placement and you didn't get a placement, then maybe that is why the school can tell you to 1 year. Please speak to us. Let's see what we can do. Now, as someone can, during the period now, you formed a relationship or there's something of the sort, then possibly the law allows that you can switch to that route. Yes, so let's talk. Okay. If you're 2.5 years, can you do application for all together if you have come to application for? I don't understand, sir. Mr. Amwako. Say, hi, lawyer. If you have 2.5, can you do application for all together? If you have to come to application for all together, I think there's something missing. Can you help me out by retyping the question, please? Thank you so much. Mr. Nkrumah, if you're married to a foreigner, let's say Ukraine lady, and you apply under Ukraine sponsor scheme and were refused the visa, but now don't hear from her again, can I do the divorce in Ghana? Well, I would advise you that if you are in the UK, please do the UK divorce. You can do a search for her. You can go online, Facebook, FaceTime, Twitter, and all these social media handles. The court accepts this evidence to show that you have searched for the person. So, I mean, you know these things. The X, Twitter, which is now I think it's called X, and all those other things. Let me see. I mean, I'm sure you are a young man, so you know all this. TikTok, yes, you can do that. Go on TikTok, go on X, go on Facebook, search for her. Write a letter to where you were, or get the letter from a solicitor to maybe your old address, and also maybe to the church you used to attend, to the GP. They will all return this letter back to you to say, your name may be Obano, we have no contact with the person. Now with the social media, they don't see the account. Now they acquire a court divorce. No, the court then said you tried to get in contact and you didn't get her. The divorce will go on and you'll be fine. The problem may was sometimes with a fear divorce, they say, after a year or 2 or 3, or maybe 5 years, 7 years, 10 years time. So who copy no, now open copy of the divorce certificate. You may have a problem getting it back. That is why I'm saying ebeya yen wo kroma. Anampo ukoye fi Ghana. Ochina nko obeya ba. Or say you claim you divorced her. There is no proof. She has never been served, etc., etc. Unless you can prove that there was an attempt to search for her, she can dispute that divorce and it can go to court and it can create all kinds of problems for you. And just say, yeah, UK, Hawaii. Thank you. Home Office hasn't contacted me if the visa curtailment. Can I apply for graduate route? Yes, I mean, once you qualify, this, the university has given you a letter that you passed the course, even though you haven't done the placement. As long as your visa is still valid, please go ahead and do the graduate route, and you'll be fine. Rather than say, yeah. If you have 10-year route, can you do application once for all? Once for all in which way? You can't go for 10 years straight. I said 2 years, sorry, 2.5, 2.5, I have 5 years. Another 2.5, now 7.5 years. And another 2.5, now 10 years. And sana wako akoye the indefinite leave to remain. You can't apply for 10 years straight. In fact, even if it was possible, you can't pay for the 10-year route straight because one application is 3,845 pounds and 50p. So if you have to pay times 4 of that, that means 15,382 pounds if you have to apply for the 10-year route straight. But it's even not there. They have 5 years straight, but they don't have the 10-year route. So it's 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Thank you. Prince Fiajigwe. Lucky, Elfon. Why are you all Ghanaians texting about divorces and dissolution of your marriage? Well, it's because people are going through problems. It's because people are having issues with their marriage. And if it cannot be resolved, then of course, maybe that is the only way out. So, Prince, bear with people. Yes, I'm sure they have their own issues they are dealing with. So, yeah, thank you. Please do really need to have a huge sum in your bank account for bank statements. No, you don't need to have a huge account. You don't have to have a huge sum in your bank account. There are some occasions, even if you have 0 in your account, you can still apply. Example, UK. As if you want to bring your wife to the UK. Your pay slips, your bank statements, your P60, and a letter from employer shows that you meet the £29,000 because the P60 says you earn £30,000. The bank statement shows that your pay gets into the account. The pay slip shows that this is the money you receive, which is reflecting the account. If there is even zero balance in your account, you can still bring your wife. Not a problem. Or even if you're in the minus, negative, you can still bring your wife. It's not a problem. But there are some applications. Example, visit visa. If you want to come on a visit visa, they want to see how much money you have to take care of your travel, your in and out, your expenditure, your shopping and food and everything. So in that case, if you have 0 in your account, you get a 0 result. And in that case, you need to have some reasonable amount of money in your account. It doesn't have to be 100 million pounds. It doesn't have to be 10,000 pounds. It doesn't have to be £1 million. It doesn't have to be 100 million Ghana cedis, but it has to be a reasonable account money in your account. If you bring it to the pound sterling, reasonable, maybe 5,000, 7,000 pounds equivalent. Why not? You can do, but there is generally no requirement to have a huge sum in your account. Evans Alu, hello, Mr. Alu. Can a skilled worker switch visa if she gives birth to the UK and if the baby does not have a citizen status? If the baby doesn't have a citizen status, it's not a British citizen, it's difficult to apply on any particular route because we need to. So we'll check the requirements under Appendix FM, Section LTRPT. Now, as I said, which says 1. The child is a British citizen. 2. The child has indefinite leave to remain. 3. The child is 7 years old. So, Abufana British, only indefinite, and only is 7-year-old in the UK. Who application now? It will be refused because there is no basis. The people to be anywhere application, so the application will be refused. So I would advise that if the child is British, yes, but if the child is not British, then carry on with the skilled worker route until something else changes. Thank you. We are all well educated now through your teaching. Good, God continue to bless you. My brother, God continue to bless you too. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Ishmael. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Lawyer Wisdom Akao Wiseman Solicitors. Yeah, that's it. Only every Fridays, I know 5:30. GMT, you know, I say every Fridays, unya adaje unya time oba church. Me say omo aso na beti. Obu asanya ma wonti o. Na menti o. Aha. Na akoye mistake. Obi o say yes na obi akoka bibia che na obi. Obeti na so adada mo no crunch. Tie bi, utie bi a ebe prepare. So be can be a child. Information is the lawyer say information is now online.
Online. Go online. Look online now. Go to the immigration rules. Go to free movement. Go to electronic travel authorization. Go to case laws. Go to the courts, the Home Office tribunal case decisions. Go to immigration AIT case decisions. Everything is on there. But the difference is the reading is different from the understanding and the interpretation. But at least, kokai, ukaya, and almost some small ideas yourself, and to say, then it will explain it to you better. I present your Wukai Bible. What me kind the same scripture, but also for Bejina or not or kind the same scripture, not or trade to because okay, and saying that that is the meaning and interpretation. It needs exposure, it needs illumination, it needs interpretation. So please, but at least a yes say wow the kind who can then you deliver come then it gives you a better understanding. Won't carry your Bible if you don't read your Bible. Also, for better can be and not one of the problems we have. Read your Bible, ask God for interpretation, and then so someone but can't not wow. She said David. We also we can David. Yeah, I mean, at least you have some understanding. The same way with the law. Read it, get your own little understanding. So lawyer debate so why more confused seek for more clarification. And today you can do exactly what it is supposed to be.
Lawyer Wisdom Akao, the number on the screen so no obetimi a contact no lawyer bobo office location no Dawson London, Dawson Junction, McDonald's, then.
DJ, Uber. Somebody will come at McDonald's. Last week, maybe said, "Oh, mommy answer," and then maybe said,
"Now, lawyer, you can move, mommy."
Oh, David. How can we?
You can, yeah, move, mommy. It's still a member.
Oh, bro, we want more of you. You know, bro.
Dawson Junction.
Bro, from Studio A.
The print house, the printed documents is here printed visa. Visa.
Yeah, thank you. Yo, DJ, I believe the first quarter of the year, and I have to see you the first quarter. But before my,
me so better ticket mami ana.
Men's Rukra,
You have broadcast live from Wiseman's solicitor's office.
But
Wiseman's solicitor's office. You have broadcast live from there. That's not why I broadcast for order. And several times.
I think we did broadcast the very first one or so from the office and say, come with your gadgets.
Wisdom account. It's a bad near call McDonald's or McDonald's any man and I'm the other office.
You ever call McDonald's no plans in your office?
Anytime I catch a man for say, I won't cut two pet. Who's the McDonald's super brown type bang?
Oh, Big Mac. Yeah, I was so saying.
Yes, you do an password near two. You have a Big Mac.
Yeah, also saying, answer now, how biting,
Lawyer, but that's if our location to our address, some of this on London.
Thank you so much, thank you for everything. I appreciate you all. This program, so no, we teach, we learn, and we also have fun. You know, we laugh, but it's serious business now. Yeah. But the joy, say about straight face, it's not interesting. So we have a laugh, but we are also teaching and we are also learning. And yeah, why smart solicitors? Why smart solicitors? Yeah, address near suite 8 to 9 the Print House, 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, Dalston, London, E8 3DL. E8 3DL. Telephone numbers. Office number near +44 2080 165 384. I was screaming so. +44 2080 165 384. Mobile number near +44 7931 411 042. That is +44 7931 411 042. That is the office number. Feel free. If you have any questions, call the office number, book appointment, of course. So I want to remember, we do telephone consultation. Even though you will not be able to come physically to the office, you get telephone consultation. You get Zoom, you get your friend is a WhatsApp video conference everywhere we are in the world. Thank God. Thank God for the internet. They say, wherever you are able to work. Teams meets and everything. And if you have any issues, call. Let's see. Sometimes we can't help you direct, but we can direct you to where you can get help. Last time we friend is for here sponsorship license, because not company now new now license no. Just around that time, and an employer been so me say, oh, I think 1 or 2 vacancies. Into offer me panel, I just referred the person to the sponsor. And I my sponsorship no. But because employer be me say almost 2 vacancies no, I just referred the person to the sponsor. I can't even recall the sponsor's name right now, but I believe so the man. So we may not be able to help directly, but we can direct you to where you can get help when we can and if we can. So DJ, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. Lawyer, enjoy your weekend.
Next week, come out, Joe, next week.
Mariam. Omakpe.
Ja.
Maudrum next week, Omakpe.
Ja.
Lawyer Wisdom account I'm putting in kind of Wiseman solicitors. Medana every Fridays be a minute. I hope sir. One some questions today, so when Timia answer Nami Aduma next week, but the contact details no. Unya no ha. And in the when you know how. Aye. The from after now penche mutin dia. Yes, we be consultation. Abaye buska, yebeju sika, so utia, almost omo edwuma no. Ba unya no wa ha, on say be ne ba na free now the way aba no obisa, bu anam the phone line atum na friend no obisa ha. Untia he. Ba open nchechemu no bebre no momwa bebre a. So tena say because omo edwuma no ngofo bebre na reach omo out. It is a open nchechemu omo on the time wonko abema be 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Hey, so omo obi a sa dia. And so wanya ejuma no enti omo no unya omo a enti ya bi se mu pay attention ba unya na papa de obebisa na obi no ajote wa church information go ha unya so mo a and e fed da obetimi akontate omo madam ase mo amojo ni ene nyina madam ase me unse afi na bi mu de omo ya my late nyame adoma next week Mumbrant 5:30 Ghana time. Since I say UK, no more time in your pet. 5:30. I'm in the bar say to 7 there upon. I'm a beautiful phone line and 8 me course ne timi ma na twum sa na Nana Esion. Is it Esion? Okay, thank you for joining. Me mama shout out, I'm signing out. Oliver Francis Edu, thank you so much for joining us today. Salome Kwe. Hey, who enjoy Ghana? Salo, big shout out to you. Say, share Salo. And Albert Owusu, Think Crime, me that's so joining class. We a special class. Matthias Frimpong, me that's say. Ma Lydia Ofori. Ciao, Madam Lydia Ofori. UK new. Ishmael Norte, thank you so much. UK border checks, thank you for joining. Dorothy Sewa, Jan, thank you so much for joining. Emmanuel Amoakumedase, Evans Alu, thank you so much for joining us today. Prince Fiazigbe, Prince Medase, Kwame Odami. Kwame that is all joining and Eric Amoako, thank you so much. Nkrumah Isaac made us say Emmanuel Amoako made us say Yao Edubuafo Asante made us say someone joining and baby Abigail Entry Buesia Kong made us say Rahina too Musa, thank you so much. Save Ghana TV made us say Nyakun Abrano Mame Dase, so journey and then Nana Boampon, thank you so much. Dominic Aqua Medase, Robbie Boateng, thank you so much. Bright Abrifi, thank you so much. Rex, Drewy Medase, Bulletman Medase. Mame, thank you so much for joining us. Hetty Edu, and I say Frank Osei Johnny, thank you so much. Teddy Mims official TV, and I say Dennis Abena, and I say so Johnny and George Aule Kujo, thank you so much. George Ewuli Kujo, me that say Dominic. Okay, so Frank O Entry, me that say so joining here. Richard Sego, thank you so much. Mame Nyakwa Adepa Reigns, thank you so much for joining us. Mame, shout out to you. Prince, okay, me that say Kweku Andrews, me that say Daniel Bacha, me that say Mr. Fitz Pemin was a Pemin. Let me that say. I hope some boni. Mr. Rider TV, thank you so much for joining us. I think some about we are doing so far. Me damunyina say joining Obinyao. Thank you so much for joining. Madam I say FM DJ Nyame, Madam production team as Madam Obi as some joining. Ya drop videos share on YouTube. I mean say baby na no. Obi show Facebook, almost someone say short videos joining our YouTube channel SVTV Africa. Na share your videos pa obi sua de. Many amount for kasa. Many obi akasa worldwide from Ghana. Baby I will be able to me show this to be. Opa oba me show this to be a YouTuber number na your number on screen so it's your amount for experience. The man film the omo sua baby omo report the ekoso or maybe I will be able to me show this to be. You see on the platform so and I drop videos nice ones to be maybe I'm a lawyer maybe me signing out I better drop it another one many we Afro Germany Hamburg Afro te amuntie me dey make say utie obi interviewer ebia enye ni nyina na ono ne be ya adwen ono de ono wa fem ene de wehu ene ono so share enti de wo hwe no de wo fi se beboa ono no afa enye atabidi de wo fi se beboa ono yesua de wo pick information de wo fi se beboa ono no tu hana mo ngofo bebre wo mo yesa ebo mo a mo de asesa on movement into very important but yes uti say person agree and so I can't be a winning person can be bib no I don't know nya hwefim information and nipa na pass tie ni ye nye se wo tie se opese o kanta no anu nsia de tie ni se de o kan enyina o sana metimi ayi si account sana se metimi to anamon we ha efia de o yes a good listener o be ko ichire babu won de hu bibia na o so throw off you know go learn atem the DNA is you know they bring anything on any nya adwea waka na de also the office said your kind no also person waka na waka but nya atem the yeah me social media bebre because obi aka na sem e bia o frustration o person odidi na tem and then what type and then say hwe waka na sem ju betimi a kire wo adwen but in the atem Madam, I saw SVTV Africa. See, drop it next video. Join our YouTube SVTV Africa. What social media platforms in here? So your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, your X, and your YouTube. YouTube is a main hub. Or on any videos. And sometimes someone teases. Hopefully, your TikTok. I want a short video. And only a child say you can watch the full video. Share a Facebook page. Facebook page, you had the short videos, no to yeah, the link, no full link, no. Me won't say be more ha. Pay attention. Really know. Yeah, the video to yeah, the link, no full link, no to video, no so. But say, why are you not making it simple? And it's a person pass it through all these challenges. Why not subscribing to the channel so that you get notification? So you rather go to the YouTube, follow there, then you get notification and never boa. So you watch from there. Matia say, Madam say, if I'm DJ Nyame, Charlie, we go crush. Ushamo Kroma, I said tour. Imagine tour. So tour.
Charlie, make we drop small. Be like Coco.
Delight Cocoa, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Cocoa.
Charlie, make we drop small. Delight Cocoa.
Delight Cocoa, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Cocoa.
Young penny for baby say, if you are seeing her, obi ni ma, obi che. Why na chill? So we pay IT, we de one so we pay support. Slam Technology say your number one partner. Your office will US in your office will Ghana so your numbers ni kuhono. So we share IT classes, we share career coaching, we share support for business, cybersecurity. Free na your partner. Your back fear wow. Slam Technologies, transformation with excellence. Free is here baby biara o.